We're kicking it back to like 2016 with a bronze smoky eye. I posted this photo to Instagram and the demand for a tutorial was high. And I actually love this look, so I'm really excited to show you how I created it. It's really not as difficult as it might look. It's not as complicated as it might look. So here we go, step by step, I'm gonna show you how I did it. So I'm gonna chit chat a little bit with you while I go through this tutorial because I feel like there's a lot to catch up on. First of all, I was supposed to have a get ready with me going up before this video. I filmed it last week. And much like the majority of the videos I've filmed in the last couple years, I tossed it out. I'll explain why in a second. So this I'm gonna try for the first time. I've heard great things about it. I don't normally use a primer, but this is by Milk. It's their Hydro Grip Primer. I test that out. So I feel like that has been the overarching theme of my experience with YouTube in the last couple of years. I don't know what happened. I don't know where it all went wrong, but I just feel like somewhere along the line, making videos and looking at my face close up just made me start to hate myself. You know, people go through changes. Obviously, I'm 10 years older than I was when I first started. I've gained 15 pounds. The foundation I'm using is the Dior Forever Skin Glow in 3N. So I just feel like the general direction that social media has been going in has just not been very good for my overall mental condition. So I'm now trying to challenge myself to not care as much, not be so critical of myself, and just get back to having fun creating these videos because I love doing them, but just the experience of going to edit and seeing my face has just been entirely defeating. So just bear with me as I try to get over myself and get back to doing what I truly love doing. All right, moving on to concealer. I'm using the Dominique Cosmetics concealer in Oat Milk. This is a great one, and it has a metal applicator, so it's nice and cooling. As usual, this is only going on very sparingly. Even though this is like a full beat, I still am not going crazy, even though I'm using foundation. Still with the concealer, I'm very targeted. And same deal using the setting spray. Just gonna spray my brush. This brush, by the way, is probably my favorite brush ever. Precise Highlighting by Smashbox. I don't know if they still sell this, but it is such a good brush, especially for blending out concealer, especially if you like it really, really targeted. I also went on Instagram yesterday and I confessed that I've just been feeling self-conscious about even posting photos, but it turns out a lot of people are having this weird phobia of taking photos now too. So that's another thing I'm gonna challenge myself to do, because what the hell? I am a fully grown adult. Why am I so scared to take pictures and to post the videos that I've always posted? Anyhow, let's move on to contour. Still my favorite for contouring. I do wish these shades were a little cooler, but they still work great for contouring. It's the Hollywood Contour Wand from Charlotte Tilbury, and it looks like I'm running low. So this is the medium deep because I'm out of the fair medium. And where else do we want to put this? A little bit down here. Since we're going full beat, might as well do the full contour. And just with a dense brush, I'm gonna go in and stipple this. And you'll notice with this look, especially for the eyes, you would think there's so much shadow involved. There's actually zero powder shadow involved in this look. The only powder that I'm using is a little bit to set my concealer, and I'm still not totally sure I want to use my powder highlight, but I might. Let's see how this goes. One thing that's been really bugging me when I go to edit my videos is this area. I think a combination of age and the weight gain has rendered my jawline not as sharp as it used to be. Another thing I learned actually about this area is these muscles here, the neck muscles, can actually pull down on your face, on your facial muscles if they're tight. So every day I've been like really stretching out these two muscles. I just started like a week ago, but hopefully it'll make some sort of difference. I actually don't have anything to blend this out with, so I'm just gonna use my finger. When all else fails, honestly, your hands are your best tools. This is art after all. Okay, I'm really excited for this blush step because you know how much I love a cream or liquid blush, and this by Laura Mercier, perfection. It's their Tinted Moisturizer blush. Already I love it just from the name because it gives me sheer vibes. So this I'm gonna just dot in 2 places on my cheeks. And with a big fluffy brush. It's so nice and blendable. I'm gonna use this guy. This is by Ilia. It's their finishing powder brush. And just gonna blend that out into my temple area. And then if you needed to blend out any of your blush, you could always go back to your base brush and just kind of work out those lines and blur them out. And now it's time for powder. You know how I feel about powder? It's never been my favorite. I hardly ever use it, but for a look like this, especially if you're gonna go out at night, photographed, anything like that, a dab of this is gonna be necessary. The one I've been loving lately is by Givenchy. It's pretty new. His name is rather hard to say if you're not French. Prisme Libre. You're not used to that guttural sound. It's a little difficult, but it is such a good powder. It already comes with a little poof. And I'm just gonna actually dump a little bit out into the cap and load up this little poof. I'm not using too much, you know me. I'm just really gently, lightly setting this. It is a beautiful formula. It's light, it's not super cakey. And especially as I'm aging, I'm using way less powder because it starts to settle in lines, and this one has been performing really nicely for me. It is 4 different powder shades. The color that I'm using is Satin Blanc. I really need to work on my French. So I think I am gonna go for a little bit of highlight. This is by Charlotte Tilbury. It's their Glow Glide Face Architect Highlighter, and I'm using the bronze shade. And in fact, I was gonna use this brush here, but let me actually use the big fluffy one, because since this is the bronze glow shade, ooh, look at that. Look at that reflection. I'm gonna make it more of a kind of all over highlight as opposed to targeted. Nice. Kind of, you know what this reminds me of? I just had such a throwback moment. Do you guys remember Betty Luminizer from The Balm? I just had the craziest YouTube nostalgia. Okay, that's like, now I'm so happy I used it. New favorite product. So I'm just gonna give my face a set with the Airbrush Flawless Setting Spray. I cannot believe how much that highlighter looks like Betty Luminizer. All right, we're all done with the face. I'm gonna pull you in closer for the eyes. You're gonna be shocked at how easy this eye look actually is. I'm starting out with this by Pixi. It's their Eye Lift Max in Olive. It comes with a doe foot applicator, and I'm just gonna smear that all over my lid, and then just with my finger, blend it out. When you're using these multi-dimensional shimmer shades, it just adds so much pizzazz to a look. It looks like you've done so much more than you actually have. So if you don't consider yourself very good at makeup, but you want to sort of fake it, using products like this is one of the best ways to do it, because it really looks like you used so much technique and put so much effort into it when really it's just one color. So once that's all blended out, I'm going in with another cream shade, and this one is like a crayon. This is by Laura Mercier. It's their Caviar Stick in Cocoa, and I'm gonna apply that. You know what, I'm gonna grab my handhold because that mirror is way too far away. So this I'm going to apply right here to the outer corner. And really, you'll notice it's just like a little smear of the product. It's in no particular shape. And then I'm taking a flat brush and I'm using this to blend it out. definitely form that wing shape, but just blend it together with that base shimmer. I don't want this to be so sharp here, so I'm gonna just blend it out with my finger, just a little bit softer. Nice, I like that. Okay, so I'm gonna move on to the other eye, and I can always build over what I've done if I want more. And then with the brush, start to blend that out and form the shape that you like best. So you can see I just used 2 colors. I didn't do a transition color. I didn't do all the other stuff I normally do with a smoky look. And this is what I came up with. I'm gonna take that original color and go into my bottom lash line. I'm gonna add that in here. And just, I can actually blend it out with the applicator since it's basically just a line. Now I'm gonna take a small smudge brush. This is by Smashbox. It's their Precise Smudger. And I'm gonna dip into that cocoa and I'm gonna start to deepen this bottom lash line. And I'm concentrating most of the darkness in the inner corner because having the darkness here and having the darkness here is gonna create that kind of cat shape. You don't wanna drag down this corner, so instead of putting a lot of darkness right here, which is gonna drag down the eye, you put most of it on the upper lid so that it lifts the eye. But of course, blend it all the way to the end. Just concentrate the thickness of it right here. And then just blend out the rest. Now I'm going into my eyeliner. This is also a brown shade. This is the Jillian Dempsey Rich Brown Eye Pencil, and this also has a smudger on the end. If you didn't want to use a separate brush, you can definitely use that. So I'm gonna take this, and I'm gonna just line my lid as usual. And you can either use the smudger on this end or the brush that I just used to smudge that line out a little bit. Make it nice and smoky and really blend it with that dark brown. Ooh. I'm also going to add this into my waterline, both top and bottom. That really gives you the maximum impact if you're doing a smoky look. So again, really close to the lash line. I'm gonna draw that line. And you can absolutely use a black liner if you wanted for this. I'm just still trying to keep it on the softer side. Because, you know, I have pretty strong features, so using black would just be overkill. And then again, going into the waterline. Make sure you cover any skin. You don't want any of the flesh color to be visible. Another little trick I have is I'm taking this bronze pencil by Pixi. This is their Endless Silky Eye Pen in, it's something bronze, Bronze Beam. I'm gonna take this and just add it to the center of my bottom lash line and just blend it out. And I'm actually gonna do the same thing right here at the center of my top lash line and blend it out. Something about that bronze shade really just brings a little bit more warmth and action to the look. This is why I really love working with cream shades because it's just so much easier to do this blending game. So now going into mascara, I'm gonna use this by Laura Mercier. I've been using the same mascara for the last 1.5 years, and now I have converted to the Panoramic mascara because it is so, so good. It has this like twisted wand and the formula is nice and rich. It really thickens my lashes up, no need for falsies. And of course with this look, I am gonna hit the bottom lashes. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that's new that I need to share. We have a new launch coming up for our Monday Born. It's a lip product. It's our first foray into color, actually. It's a tinted lip balm. So I'm very excited for that. Now finishing off the eyes with the Tom Ford Fiber Brow Gel. This is quickly becoming my favorite in the brow category. Just gonna make them stand up nice and tall, fluff them up. Trying to think what else is new. Oh, I started a podcast. Some of you might know. If you've been listening, thank you for supporting, but I just wrapped up season 1, preparing season 2 now. It's been nice to have a space to share things without thinking about how I look. It's not about what we're looking at, it's really just about the message, so it's been a really good experience doing it. And finishing off the lips, I'm using this by Buxom. It's called High Def Honey. It's also become my favorite lip liner, especially if you really want if you want to plump up your lips. I contour with this anytime I put on a lip product. Just gonna line just slightly outside the lip line and contour the outer corners. And for my lip color, I actually did a first impression of this in that Get Ready With Me video that I didn't end up posting. It's the Makeup by Mario Moisture Glow. I think it's called Moisture Glow. Yeah, Moisture Glow Plumping Lip Color in Soft Nude. I had a very good first impression to this. Beautiful color. It's a really nice true nude. It's not like a pinky nude. The only thing is it's a unique texture. It's very high shine, but it doesn't feel like a gloss. It feels very much like a satin lip color, almost like a lipstick. And that is it for this look. Let's fluff up the hair a little bit. It's pretty much exactly the same as the Instagram photo. I think the Instagram photo was a little more like cat eye, a little more wingy, but this is just a little bit softer, so you can definitely create more of that wing if you like. I just want to say thank you so much for watching, and thanks for bearing with me as I peek in and out. But like I said, I'm really challenging myself to get over it and just get back here and create the content that I love to share. I hope you're doing great, and I'm definitely going to see you soon.